State Executive Council met today, presided over by the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Ezenwo Wike. The Council considered a lot of issues, but most importantly, zeroed the issue of Soot. Anybody who has been around Rivers State or has followed political developments here will know that since 2016, the issue of Soot in Rivers State had become so topical. As a result of the concern generated by members of the public and the Soot issue itself, the Rivers State government set up a very high-powered scientific investigation team chaired by the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Professor Rosalind Konya. The committee submitted its report and made presentation, and today the Executive Council deliberated on the report and the various recommendations made by that committee through the Commissioner for Environment. The government, the Executive Council, accepted the report and the recommendations as well, and also went further for the purpose of implementation, set up a technical committee which will work out the modalities and proceed with the implementation of the various recommendations of the committee. The technical committee is to be chaired by the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, and the other members are as follows. 1, Professor Precious Ede, Dr. Golden Ohonda, the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Kanye Ibeku, the Honorable Commissioner for Water Resources. Others are representatives of the IOCs, 1 each from Shell, Ajip, Total, Petrochemical, Port Harcourt Refinery, and Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company. There will also be a representative of the civil society, as well as engineer Mrs. Juliet Ohonda, while the secretary of the committee will be nominated by the Ministry of Environment, who should be a staff of the Ministry of Environment.
The public has been waiting for the results of this investigation, the Soot in Port Harcourt. We know that it all started the last quarter of 2016, and the Ministry of Environment immediately brought out a press release asking everyone to calm down, and that government was equal to the task. And since then, there have been investigations into this Soot. We are all aware that this Soot is still there, but it has reduced a little bit because of the intense work that has been done by this Ministry of Environment through task force, plus the technical team that investigated it. And so today, the Executive Council has approved the report and also the recommendations. We found that there are 12 sources, 12 identified sources of the Soot, and they are refineries, fertilizer companies, illegal artisanal refineries, setting ablaze of illegally refined petroleum products by the military, non-road emissions, vehicular emissions, gas flaring, tire burning to retrieve steel wires for recycling, meat roasting with tires in abattoirs, asphalt plants, refuse burning at dump sites, petrochemical industries. These are 12 identifiable sources of this Soot. And what we need to do now is to ensure that these sources are eradicated, and then we will have a a clean bill of air in Rivers State. We did sensitization, if you remember, all of you in the public. We know that there were protests, and we tried our best to explain to the protesters that government was not resting on its oars. And I know that the team went to Nigeria Army 6th Division, went to Rivers State House of Assembly Committee on Environment, went to Traditional Rulers Council, went to National Orientation Agency, went to the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, also went to NNPC R&D, Research and Development, Nigeria Civil Defense Corps, Indorama Petrochemical, NNPC Refinery, tire dealers at Anozie Street and other streets in Diob, the Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder, the Warfare Port Harcourt, markets and other unconventional places. All these movements took place so that at least we can tell them that government knows about the Soot and that government was doing something about it. After all this going around, then we went into investigations, scientific investigations. And the results of the scientific investigation shows that Soot, that's the work of artisanal refiners, is top on the list with gas flaring. And I've just mentioned the other 10 sources. So the Executive Council has decided that when this technical committee now will be formed, inaugurated on the 3rd of June this year, that work on the implementation of the recommendations will start. And there are quite a number of recommendations given. Recommendations to the public were given. Recommendations to IOCs were given. Recommendations to federal government were also given. And recommendations to River State government given. So when all these groups now come together to think of what will be done, as for the federal government, we don't have control over what the federal government will do, but at least the River State government can write letters to them to tell them the findings in this report, and then we will ask for their own assistance. I also am aware that we had told the federal government before, and the minister came sometime. We had a meeting, but after that, we didn't hear any more from them. And we are hoping that this time for implementation, that they are going to assist us. Because stopping gas flaring cannot be done by River State government, for example. So we are expecting federal government to do as much as possible to stop the gas flaring. So we know that now the public have been all ears trying to hear what we've done. And so we are telling you now that the Soot will soon be a thing of the past after the implementation of all the recommendations by this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you.